Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you decided to join me. We're going together to make the most important investment of our lives. It's not stocks, it's not bonds, it's not real estate, it's not cryptos. We're going to invest in our most precious asset, our health. You're going to get back in control. Today we're going to take a look at where we stand as a country. You're going to compare to the other developed countries. We're going to use the OECD data, Organization for Economic Development and Cooperation. Organization was started in Paris after World War II to actually manage the Marshall Plan. Subsequently, other countries were also included as well. But before we dive in, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. T. I grew up in Madeira Island off the coast of mainland Portugal. I did my medical school in Lisbon and subsequently moved to New York City and did my internship and my internal medicine in Brooklyn, in New York, at Brooklyn Jewish, now named Interfaith Medical Center. I subsequently moved to University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey and did a general cardiology fellowship and the electrophysiology fellowship at the Bora Heart and Lung Center. From there, I moved to Sanford School of Medicine at the University of South Dakota, where I became chief of cardiology. A few years later, I moved to the Black Hills of South Dakota, where I joined cardiology practice in the area. After 3 decades of practicing conventional medicine, I've realized we're very good, in fact, at putting out the fires, treating the heart attacks, treating the strokes, treating the peripheral vascular diseases. But we're not very good at looking at the primordial cause of these diseases. We are great at mopping the floor. We're really not that great at turning off the faucet. So let's dive in. And looking at the life expectancy at birth, you can see on the right-hand side, we actually have Iceland, Norway, and Japan. The United States is not even in the middle. This is for men, and this is for women. Consistently across all the countries, women have longer life expectancy. If you look at what we're doing in the 1970s, the life expectancy in the United States was about 1 year above the OECD average. In 2017, we are already 2 years behind. For males in US 76, OECD 78, females 81, 84. If you look at life expectancy at 65, in other words, if you are 65 today, what's your life expectancy, what you have left? And on the right hand side, the best is Japan, Korea, France. Again, United States, we are not even in the middle. About 18 for men, 21 or so for women, as compared to almost 24 for the countries on the right. And even if you look at our friends to the north in Canada, they're doing much better than we are doing. Looking at the United States, life expectancy at this point average is 78.6, average OECD 80.7. The avoidable mortality, we have a lot more chronic diseases. We have self-rated health. We think we're doing great, but we actually are not. Let's look at obesity and overweight population. On the right, we have Mexico, Chile, and we have the United States. We are number 3. The best are again Japan, Korea, Switzerland, even France, Italy. Have significant amount of obesity because it's approaching 50%, but we are definitely in the 70% range. And what are the implications of this? Again, 58% of adults were overweight or obese in 2017 across the OECD countries. For both measured and self-reported data, men are more likely than women to be overweight. How do we define this? Well, we define this by the body mass index, and essentially it's your weight in kilograms divided by your height in square meters. If you are less than 25, you are considered normal. If you are 25 to 30 overweight, 35 or higher, you are considered obese. If you look at diabetes, again, in 2017, 6.4% of the adult population were living with diabetes on the OECD countries, but if you look at number 1 is Mexico, Turkey. Here in the United States, we are at number 3 with 10.8% of the population with diabetes. Again, we're not doing well. The best was Ireland, Lithuania, Estonia, UK, Belgium, France. Literally half of the incidence of diabetes that we have in this country. If you look at in terms of acute myocardial infarction, if you have a heart attack, what happens in the next 30 days? And we compare this 30-day mortality in 2007-2017 across the board has improved. In the United States, we're actually doing fine, about 5%, so way much better than these other countries. This has to do with the system that it's in place to deal with the emergency situation. And if we look at costs, the average OECD country spends 8.8% of GDP on health care. We are spending here on the left almost 17%, so literally doubling the average OECD, although Germany, France, Switzerland, they are on the 11%. So these are things that make me go, what's really going on? And I think this last transition has not gone well for us and many other countries. But the good news is we really have the ability, the knowledge, and the know-how to actually reverse all these chronic diseases, coronary artery disease, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, even early stages of prostate cancer. We could affect the gene expression. We could reverse aging with lengthening telomeres. And this is all possible through interventions in lifestyle medicine. We are going to address on this channel all these issues over time. We're gonna stop here today, but before we go, we have a quiz. So what country spends more in healthcare in percentage of GDP? France, Germany, Spain, Canada, US. If you pay attention, you know who it is. If not, we'll readdress this on our next video. And the bottom line is your health is too important to be delegated to others. We have to take control. We have to take control. And what I suggest is for the next video that I should publish next Friday, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I want you to Google the body mass index equation and figure out where you stand. See you on Friday.